couldn't. And it's all your fault. You had the police follow me so I couldn't use a phone. I'm disappointed. I consider you a worthy adversary, and yet you continue to underestimate me. I'll make sure that won't happen again.
Detective Garcia, please. Garcia, Kevin Collins. I think you may want to release my father from jail. Well, let's just say I found what we're looking for.
All right, thanks. We'll be right down.
Dr. Ramsey, since when do you ignore your pages?
I don't. You know me, I'm always available.
I paged you earlier and you didn't answer.
When was this?
When the General Homicide killer was speaking with Kevin Collins on the radio.
Thank you again for all your hard work. It was great. You know, we raised more money this year than ever before. I'm so thrilled. Thanks.
Congratulations, Lucy. I'm glad to hear that Jake's death didn't put a damper on the nurse's ball for you. Well, I guess that's one part of your life that's not a total mess. Oh, is that a tan line I see? No engagement ring?
You know, Eve, at least I was going to get married. At least Kevin actually asked me and meant it. I'm sure your Johns never did that for you.
Well, I think they thought that marriage was overrated for the most part. I guess so does Kevin. Now with you out of the picture, we can continue our affair where we left off.
Evie, I don't even want you to try this with me because you had the gall to ruin my wedding. Do not compound your problems by lying about Kevin.
Lucy, you are the one who is lying. You'd be married today if you hadn't lied about Serena. All right, now it's not my fault that Kevin saw you for who you really are and decided to move on.
He didn't move on. The wedding has merely been postponed despite the pathetic efforts that you poorly poured out there. The fact is we just have a misunderstanding that Kevin and I will clear up because he loves me very, very much. I'm sure you've never had anybody love you like that. And this kind of love we have doesn't just disappear into thin air. That's something that your brain, I'm sure, cannot understand.
I understand, Kevin. And while you were off playing house with Rex, Kevin was very lonely. Did you know that, Lucy? You should thank me for taking such good care of him.
You were only after Scott and his money. You didn't have any time to bat your eyes Kevin's way.
Oh, right. And a woman like me has to keep her options open, right? You're the one that's always calling me a whore. Well, there are some things that I'm still very good at.
Ooh, I'm sure that's true. You're also so transparent. You're pathetic.
I am very good at saving lives, and that's exactly what I did for Kevin by telling him about you.
Don't delude yourself like that. Don't pat yourself on the back. You hurt him. You hurt him so bad because you took away something that makes him happy, which is me. So don't you dare call yourself his friend. You're not. And you're not going to ever be able to hurt him again. I'll see to that.
He just finished an albuterol free-flow treatment.
I'll go check his lungs, see if he has less wheezing.
No, in a minute. You still haven't explained why you never answered my page.
I never got it. You must have dialed the wrong number.
Dr. Guthrie to pediatrics. Dr. Dania Guthrie to pediatrics.
Look, I'm annoyed as hell that someone went after you. Maybe if I'd been around more, this wouldn't have happened.
Mike, it's not your fault. Somebody tried to kill me. I mean, you saved my life.
You know, I heard that Kevin's father is being held.
I mean, the guy's a few fries short of a Happy Meal, but he's no killer. My bet is on Ramsey. Or maybe Frank. You know, I'm going crazy trying to figure this out.
Well, don't. You need to relax so you can recover. Listen, why don't you go up to my buddy's cabin up at Pleasure Point for a couple of days? He owes me big.
Don't tempt me.
And besides, while you're gone, I can check up on Frank and Ramsey. And You know, maybe they'll let their guard down a little bit if you're not around.
All right, thanks. You watch your back.
Chris Ramsey must have been great at dodgeball as a kid. I asked him why he didn't answer my page when the killer was on the radio with Kevin. He claims he never got it.
You think he's lying?
Oh, you know what it's like dealing with Chris. He always seems to be lying. I'd like to wipe that smug grin off his face.
Ooh, this one seems a little tense too. Maybe she could use a little getaway.
Hey, do you want to come play with me in the woods, Ellen? Mike's sending me on the lam. He's offered me his friend's cabin up at Pleasure Point.
Can we leave now?
Terrific. Listen, I'll give Normie a call. He lives close by. I'll run over and get the key, and I'll put the key and the directions in your mailbox, Ellen, if that's okay.
Are you doing this because you're worried that the killer might strike at Matt again?
I didn't say that.
Don't worry, Ellen. This guy's not going to get a second chance.
I'll make sure that won't happen again.
It's the same distorted voice that called the radio station. That means Victor can't be the killer because he was in custody at the time. Now, what are we going to do about it?
It's done. I'm releasing your father. I bought that message the first time you played it back to me over the phone.
Victor, how are you?
Scared straight. Getting arrested isn't half as much fun without Lucy.
You're free to go, Professor.
Go where?
Home with me.
Really? My God. I'm too old to toddle out of prison.
I suggest you remember this experience. Leave the legwork to us.
Well, I would be delighted to, if you show the least inclination to protect my son.
Let's just take Detective Garcia's goodwill and go before he changes his mind.
You know, Professor, being in jail wasn't all bad. At least you were safe from the killer.
All things considered, I would rather take my chances with the killer. We're going.
Hey, Scanlon, how's it going?
Okay. Thanks for busting into my routine there.
Oh, just doing Julie a favor.
Hey, I've got a girlfriend. I'm not dead.
Yeah, I hear you've been making lots of new friends lately, including Chris Ramsey.
Well, you've got some misinformation. I wouldn't waste my time with Ramsey.
Huh. That's good, because I've been doing a little checking up on him, and he's a little on the shady side. In fact, Matt thinks he might have had a hand in his accident.
Matt mentioned that to me. I really don't see it, but he's entitled to his opinion.
I guess everyone's a suspect when it comes to the murders. Cops even asked me where I was. I guess you had to tell them where you were when the killer phoned the radio station.
I am crushed that you would even ask.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. And since you have, for your information, I was working on my way to a call when that guy was on the radio. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm on duty.
Excuse me. I'm looking for Dr. Harmon's room.
Kevin, Dr. Harmon. Thanks. He's in 612. He's really lucky to be alive. How are you?
Dandy, how are you?
Listen, Kevin, I realize I may have picked the wrong time to tell you about Lucy, but I felt you needed to know the truth.
Come on, Eve. You did it while we were at the altar. You wanted a public spectacle to humiliate Lucy.
Kevin, I tried to tell you about her before. You wouldn't listen to me. You ignored me. You were going to marry that woman.
Tell me something, Eve. How long before the wedding did you have proof that Lucy was involved? Couldn't you have come to me before I walked into the church to get married? You did it the way you did because you wanted to. You held off until the wedding for maximum effect on Lucy. And you loved it.
All right, if I was so wrong, why didn't you marry her?
How could I after seeing those photographs?
Now you know how I felt. Lucy crucified me about that accident, knowing full well that she was behind it. And for my part in hurting you, I am truly, truly sorry, Kevin. But I am not sorry for telling everyone the truth about Lucy.
I guess we all have a way to justify our reasons. Excuse me, I want to see Dr. Harmon.
Kevin, wait. Come on. How's your father?
The police let him go.
Dr. Morgan?
Oh, that's a huge relief.
I agree with the Durham report. Your hand will heal fine. The whole idea that your life could have been taken, or your career as a surgeon over because of someone's sick game, makes me so angry I can't even see straight.
Don't dwell on it. Dwell on me. I need some attention.
You've got it.
Sorry to interrupt.
Come on in, Kevin.
I would have been here sooner, but I was out trying to catch the person who did this to you.
Yeah, we know. We heard you on the radio.
And for what it's worth, I don't think your father's responsible. Neither do the police. They've released him.
That's great.
The bad news is they don't have any other definite leads. Just a town full of suspects.
This lunatic will slip up sooner or later.
Matt, I can't apologize enough that someone took an idea from my book to do this to you.
Well, it just goes to show you how lousy your book is. The idea didn't work.
Thank God for that.
I hate to cut this short, but I gotta get to pediatrics. Dr. May used to read to the kids every Thursday. I'm taking over that, so...
Don't let me hold you.
And you, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Ain't love grand when it works?
You know, you have always kept an ear open for me. It's my turn to listen to you for a change. If you want to discuss what happened at your wedding.
You mean my near wedding?
It must have been difficult for you two to call it off at the last minute.
We didn't. I did. I found out that Lucy had siphoned gas out of Eve's car the night of Serena's accident.
Why would she do something like that?
Part of some grand scheme to usurp Eve's position in Serena's life, or some such thing.
She must have been pretty desperate.
Well, Lucy creates her own desperation. It's part of her life.
Should I say I'm sorry?
Sure. I am. I miss her. I feel like I have an open wound that won't heal.
You know, I've had a loss, Kevin. My husband died. Lucy is still alive. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call her.
I can't do that to myself.
You know, it's obvious that there is a line you can't cross and still keep your self-respect. But I tried to shut out a special someone once, and I regret those missed moments.
As much as I miss my life with Lucy, I can't go back.
Come on, Doc. Where are you? He doesn't want to see me, but he needs me. He doesn't even realize how much he needs me. Eve, the man-killer, could eat him right up all gone. I can't allow her to take advantage of him. I will not let Eve hurt another person I love.
Dr. Ghetto, 8099. Dr. Lillian Ghetto, 8099.
Pleasure Point.
Come on in, Detective.
Oh, no. Please don't tell me you're here to rearrest me.
Relax. I invited him over.
So you said you had a plan.
Based on my conversations with the killer, it's obvious that his confidence is growing.
No, probably because Detective Garcia hasn't arrested him yet.
Probably.
And I think we should use that against him, don't you? Now, what would you say if I went back on the radio to try and lure him in to call again? Only this time, you put an obvious tail on every suspect.
But then nobody's going to make a move.
Only until after the show. Then you pull your men, the suspects feel safe, and the killer may call here again just to blow off some steam. He's done it before. He may be brazen enough to do it again. Then we can trace the call with Victor's equipment.
Splendid. I've got a score to settle.
You stay home this time.
If you insist.
I insist.
Rats.
I like it. Make it work. When people get cocky, they tend to make mistakes.
That's just what I'm counting on.
Well, by the time I was done organizing that wheelchair race around the nurse's station, it was amazing the security didn't escort me off the floor. By the way, I won.
Well, you should be very proud of yourself, beating a group of sick children.
Oh, don't waste your pity on them. I had to disqualify Neil. The little devil threw a milk carton under my wheel, jammed me all up.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. It's about time someone gets the better of you.
Well, what do you want to get from me?
Well, I thought you'd never ask.
You know, this break is exactly what we need.
All we have to do is watch out for poison ivy and curious raccoons. Oh, and by the way, there's no phone up there. So if we leave our cellular phones and our laptop computers and our pagers at home, there'll be no civilization for miles and miles.
No cell phone?
No.
Have you lost your mind?
No.
I mean, what if we need pizza delivery?
Oh, boy, someone's in for a culture shock.
All right. I can live without a delivery, but you will have to pry my cell phone from my cold, dead hand. Listen, if you don't mind, I want to tell Kevin. He may need someone.
Oh, yeah, by all means.
Okay. I'll try to reach him now.
Your plan could be working already. That could be the killer.
We should be so lucky. Patch in that equipment just to be sure.
I'm on it.
Hello?
Hey, Kevin, it's Ellen. Are you okay?
Ellen. Yes, I'm fine. I'm just a little tense, that's all.
Well, listen, I forgot to mention earlier that I'm going out of town for a few days with Matt. And if you need a friendly ear, you can reach me on my cell phone.
Ah, that's sweet of you, but I wouldn't dream of interrupting.
Yeah, well, as long as you know that I am available to you if you need me.
Thank you. Going someplace fun?
Well, I hope so. Mike Corbin has a friend with a cabin up at Pleasure Point.
Pleasure Point. Well, you and Matt deserve some R&R. Have a great time.
Thanks. We'll try. You told us to have a good time.
Doctor's orders. Gotta oblige. Let's blow this taco stand, eh?
Well, after you sign these release forms, it's not that I'm at all eager, but I did fill them out.
Hand them over.
Lucy!
Victor, hi. Oh, hi. You're home. Oh.
Police let me out of jail. I was just going to call you. Did Monk invite you to come over here and celebrate?
Now, what do you think? Is he here?
He just went upstairs to take a shower. Come in. We'll celebrate anyway. It's so wonderful to see you here. This place is not the same without you.
Well, that is very, very sweet of you to say. Oh, am I coming at a bad time? Inconvenience? You know, I came to pick up a few more of my things.
Well, no, he just went upstairs to take a shower. Why don't you go upstairs and say hello?
You are absolutely a hopeless romantic, you know that?
Well, I'll get the champagne glasses. Don't move. I'm so excited that you're here.
Oh, it's so good to be home. Back. It's good to be here. Thanks. Oh, thank you. Pleasure Point. Oh my God, that's where Eve's going. They're going together? With my dead body.
This is Kevin Newman.
And Lisa McCree. Tomorrow, Partners in Crime, the husband and wife mystery novelist, the Kellermans.
Plus Cooking Oils 101 with Chef Emeril Lagasse. That's tomorrow on Good Morning America.